Okay, so let me go first by saying this. 2 Timothy 1:17 says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. It is impossible to have a sound mind when you can't feed your kids. It is impossible to have a sound mind when you can't pay your bills. It is impossible to have a sound mind to know that when you go work for a company, you're not even going to get paid the correct amount you should be getting paid for the work that you do. It is impossible to have a sound mind when people think they create a world, when people think they control a world they did not create. It is impossible to have a sound mind for me to sit here and continue to do so. It is impossible for me to have a sound mind for you to continue to sit here and do so to me when I did not do anything. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. Since I know the whole world wants to know, the corporate America world, since y'all make that a whole different world than the United States of America, I don't know how they're separate. It's ran by the same people. But anyway, this is what happened. So, my supervisor, my controller, should I say, that's his title, went out for some time. A contractor controller came in. During the time that the appointed controller was there, she was all nice and jolly, and what y'all call professional, and y'all don't even know the definition of that word, but I'm going to tell you. And then, soon as he left, the first meeting we had, that was not the same person that was there when the supervisor, the controller of the appointed controller was there. You understand exactly what I'm saying. So during this meeting, that is really an unnecessary meeting because it's micromanaging. Everybody knows what they're doing. We're not children. The thing is, y'all have these executive titles, but don't really have anything to do behind the executive titles. Y'all just have the titles. I know because I've been doing accounts payable for 25 years, and I'm going to run down everything I did for everybody. Because I know what I did. I did it. And I did it well. There was no reason to lose the jobs that I did. Do you know that one company asked me if my tattoos meant that I was in a gang? Do you know how disrespectful that is? Am I the only person on the universe that have tattoos? And as you can see, I have not mentioned a color yet. Because people are not based on color. They're based on the things that they do, which is breathe. Which is why y'all don't respect children as people. Because y'all don't respect God. That's disrespectful. That is a harassment suit waiting to happen. I know exactly what company I was at. So if we really want to do this, we can do this. We really can. Bloomberg, I'm pointing you out purposely. Because y'all brought me in to teach you a system that you didn't even know how to use. And the first thing I said is if you give it the correct title, then you don't know how to use it. Do you know what was said to me? Because y'all didn't want to give me the credit. What do we look like saying that a contractor or a temp, because that's what y'all call us, a temp. What do we look like saying that a temp solve the problem and a permanent employee couldn't. But what did you bring me there for? That's why I left. That's why I left. And y'all never saw me again. I left. PSENG. That was a whole bully lawsuit. Y'all know it. I know it because it was told to me from one of y'all. That's where I got that's where the first time I heard perception is reality. And I actually said that is not what it says. And I was really argued down. And I said, okay. I worked overtime. Y'all didn't even ask. I really enjoy my job. This is why I'm pissed off. I did not do my job for 25 years without a college degree for nothing. I don't do anything I don't enjoy. I can't. Because first, wait, let me tell you what it says. I'm going to tell you again. Because Second Timothy 1:17 said, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. If I'm not happy with anything that I do, my mind is not sound. And this is why I don't have a sound mind right now. Because y'all interrupting my world. Y'all disrupting my world with your lies. That's wrong. And then you want to feel as though you can do something with social media, which was created to post whatever you want. Do you know that the first person that I was ever scammed by was not a person of my color? And then it was a work from home job because I was looking for a second job because the first job I had was not paying me enough for what I was doing. Do you know at Moet Hennessy, they had a system called SAP Cockpit that they did not know how to work. Guess what? I didn't either. I know how to work SAP though. I really just sat there and figured it out. And I did great work everywhere. Y'all know it. This is why I stayed there for a certain amount of time. Okay, so let me run down my resume. Because this is really unfair treatment. This is really unfair treatment. This is the definition of unfair treatment if you don't know what it is. This is it. It's unfair. The same thing that was done to Clarissa Shields when she got her gold medal. What did she have to go through for y'all to actually see that she was the best at what she did? That's unfair. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, Jesus. Like, I know the rule, do unto others as you want done unto you, which is why I've always been nice to everybody. There's not one person that can say that I was mean to them first. I responded to what you gave me, which is Luke 6:31, karma. Y'all call it matching energy. I can't match y'all energy, but y'all can just give me any type of energy that I'm not even giving you for no reason. And then, do you know what else is disrespectful? For a person that is not of color to tell you that they know how it feels to be a person of color. How is that possible? How is that possible? That's not possible because you don't get treated the same. You don't. Fairstead, there was no reason. And there was no reason, but I wanted to go anyway. Because once y'all hired Danny Cologne, and he really came out his mouth and said, oh, I know how it feels to be black. You're not black. So you don't know how it feels. And then you thought you was doing something When you called me in that office and told me I was terminated, I said, thank you. The whole thing is they was mad because I stated I didn't want to work for you because you were an asshole. You actually thought that I was your personal assistant. You had me sending me emails to do stuff that you should be able to do yourself, or Teams or chats or whatever y'all call it, that you could do yourself. And because I said something, I got terminated. Which is why y'all still paid me after I left and gave me unemployment, because y'all knew y'all was wrong. That's an admission of guilt. That's why I didn't even ask y'all or let y'all even tell me why y'all was terminating me. Because I knew whatever you said was not going to be true. And I'm not going to let you continue to tell me lies about me. Because I know what I'm doing it. And the crazy part is we sat in an office and you told me that your wife made an Microsoft Excel sheet for you that we were using. It's so much stuff. It's just 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 too much. Y'all have done too much. 25 years is a lot of time to be mistreated for no apparent reason at all, besides that I'm being myself. However, you do not have a problem with taking the knowledge that I have. How long y'all been doing that to us? It's not right. It's not right. And the fact that y'all think professional is an action word is the problem, because it's not. That's a noun. Oh, okay. It's an adjective. Excuse me. Oh, and a noun. Okay. So I was right. Adjective. Relating to or belonging to a profession. Young professional people. Engaging in a specified activity as one's main paid occupation rather than a pastime. A professional boxer. The noun. A person engaged or qualified in profession. Professionals, professionals such as lawyers and surveyors. The second one to the noun. A person engaged in a specific activity, especially a sport or branch of performing arts, as a main paid occupation rather than a pastime. I have never been unprofessional. However, sending me an email when I don't work for anyone right now. No one. So no one should be contacting me about what I'm stating. No one. But I was. And then I didn't even state no names, no nothing. I really were being me and playing football and explaining how football is part of life and the Bible, and how God doesn't like ugly. He ain't too fond of pretty neither, which means we all get treated the same. However, ugly, mm-mm. And that's in the Bible too. Mm-mm. And I left stating this is ugly. I left stating that my soul was aggravated. I was supposed to work till Friday. My last day was Tuesday because you want to sacrifice me for no reason and then still want me to do work. And then let me talk about these temp agencies. Since we brought up the subject, since I was contacted when I was minding my business playing football, that's the art of football, minding your business. So I was minding my business, using social media as my platform, the same way y'all use social media as your platform. It's not one person's platform. However, the fact that I was contacted for using my platform is harassment. Today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. My last day was Tuesday. Harassment. And the fact that I'm saying something is why you're upset. That's an admission of guilt because now you want to talk. However, when you was called and contacted and stated these falsified words that were used, no one contacted me and asked me anything. I was actually told because the person was from a company that worked for the board and had high accolades that she was more important than I. hmm Yep. I was there for a year and 4 months. She was there for a month, not even that. And then she's not even staying because the appointed controller is coming back. So the whole world can see. What happened? Oh, what happened? Okay, so let me tell you what happened. That's why I didn't tell you what happened in the meeting. Let me tell you what happened in the meeting. So the first meeting we have, the unnecessary meeting, because it's micromanaging, which is stressful because you're interrupting what we're doing. We're in a flow. We're in a flow. Everybody should know what they're doing. We're in a flow. You're interrupting what we're doing with all these meetings, asking us what we're doing. That goes to show that you don't know what you're doing. So we have this meeting, and I was the first one. Oh, Danielle, where you at? Where you at with your entries? Da 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 da. I said, oh, what happened to the voice when the appointed controller was here? Where'd that person go? So now I have to put up a defense because you come at me in a condescending tone. We all took that speech class in college. Everybody, it's a required class. So it teaches you about tones, how to present yourself. It teaches you all of that. It does. So you can get your point across in so many different ways without being condescending, which is disrespectful. Especially when you don't even know what you're doing. Okay, so this is what happened. And I'm trying to calm my tone, but I'm so aggravated because it's just unfair and not right. And y'all want to, and you just want me to accept it and just sit here and be like, okay, you can treat me any type of way you want to. I'm going to keep applying for these jobs, and y'all going to keep getting my knowledge and wisdom and power and energy. And I'm just going to just keep letting y'all treat me any type of way y'all want to. No, no, 25 years is a lot of time. It is a lot of time. So this is what happens. We're in this meeting. There are other people in the meeting with me. And she asks me where I'm at with my entries. And I actually did a screen share because I am a visual learner. There are 5 ways to learn. I learned that because I went to school to be a teacher at Strayer so I could teach my son. Anyway, okay, so she talks to me with this tone, and I do a screen share and I walk her through the whole thing and I tell her it's a process. I did tell her that. I said it's a process. You have to do this to do that. You have to do this to do that. You have to do this to do that. And then you'll get here. And then this is the end. And then this is how you know this. This is the end. And then immediately, as soon as I finished saying my last words, she asked the same question again. And so I told her the same thing again in the same way. Went through all the steps. My tone would have might have been a little like, okay now, because we was having these same conversations when the appointed supervisor, when the appointed controller was here. So I don't even understand why I'm doing this whole walkthrough, but I'm gonna do it anyway because God told me. So I did the walkthrough twice, and twice she asked the same question. And then I didn't even do the walkthrough. I just told her because there was no other way to say what I was saying. And then she asked the question again. And then I didn't say anything. I got quiet. Because at this point, I don't know how many ways I can say what I said. And then I said it again, eventually. Her response was, okay, 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 okay. And then she gonna tell the AP manager, who in real life she wasn't even qualified for the position because she was asking me questions that she should know the answer to. But because I respect people, I gave her the answer. So she said, all right, I'm gonna call you later. I'm gonna call you later. As soon and so we ended the meeting or whatever. As soon as the meeting ended, I messaged the um AP manager. She knew what I said. I know what I said. I'm not saying what I said. It doesn't need to be said at this point because nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody came to my defense. Nobody cared. You really told me that I did not matter. I was not important. And then you want to say it's no, not. It's not about right or wrong. It is always about right or wrong. That's a battery. If you look at a battery, there is a negative on one side and a positive on another side. That's the indication of right and wrong. Certain things can't work if you put a battery in the wrong way. Right and wrong will always be right and wrong. And because y'all want to be wrong and not right, y'all want us to accept the wrong, and then there's one not, and then want us not to point out the wrong, but then want us to let you tell us we are wrong when we know we are not wrong. How does that? The math ain't mathing. That don't even 2 plus 2 equals 4. You can actually get 4 in more than 2 ways. But that doesn't even equal 12 or 8, 17, 16, 15, 25, 36, 97. It doesn't equal a number. That's like a negative and a positive. That's algebra. That's unfair treatment. in corporate America, the America y'all created. And then y'all hide behind emails and words that y'all don't even know the definition to. And then try to make other people feel bad because they don't even really know the definition either, but they know what you're saying is not right because they feel right in their spirit. It's energy. Again, a battery. And it's not right. And y'all want us to accept it, and it's not right. And it's not even everybody. It's not even everybody. My daughter's godfather is white. I'm a Boston Celtics fan because of Larry Bird purposely. Because everybody was rooting for Michael Jordan and them. And Shaq and Barkley and Penny Hardaway, Monique, what's his name? Matumbo, the tallest NBA player in the world, 7.7. And then y'all don't believe nothing because God is really showing y'all that he makes giants in front of your face. That's not normal. How many people you know 7'7"? It's unfair treatment. And then when you call a law company, y'all don't want to support us. And then lawyers, y'all feel as though because y'all got these titles as lawyers that y'all can talk to people any type of way. Let's talk. Let's do the definition of lawyers because this is really unfair. A lawyer is a person who practices or studies law. An attorney or counselor practice law, work as a lawyer. There is nothing in there that says talk to people any type of way that I want to. Nothing. And then you talk to people any type of way that you want to about something you don't even know what you're talking about. The most funniest thing that I experienced is to what even made me even more pissed off. Is that I had a Zoom meeting with another agency that was doing an AP position. The person that was doing the interview literally stated that he had no AP experience. He's never worked in AP before. However, he is asking me AP questions, and I am answering his question from AP experience. And then he tells me that I didn't answer the question correctly. So then I ask him, well, how would you know if I answered the question correctly if you don't even have experience in what you're asking me? And he said, because you didn't say this, and that. I said, because what you're asking me doesn't take this, and that. It takes what I just said. You want me to say what you want to hear instead of listening to what I'm saying. That's too much control for one person to have. And it's funny because y'all really said that to Malcolm X. Aren't y'all people too? Aren't you one person? You're one individual. How do you get that control over somebody else's life? And then over something you don't even know what you're talking about. This is really the indication of unfair treatment from corporate America for no reason. Because if y'all gather all together at one time and sit down and have a board meeting, since y'all like having board meetings, and analyze and get y'all files out, y'all record phone calls, get your phone calls out, Get your records out that you have and go through all of them. And you will see that what I am saying is correct. To ask somebody if their tattoos mean they are in a gang is the whole indication of harassment. If harassment wasn't a word, that created it right there. Because it's body art. So why is it okay for you to get tattoos, but I can't get tattoos? And then why do I have to cover up my tattoos? They're not even offensive. I have an elephant, a saxophone, Jesus, uh, uh, cherry blossom flower with my little brother birthday on it. Me and my oldest son matching tattoo. A tattoo with a family member's name. An owl right here with some books. Like, I don't even have no offensive tattoos. But that was an offensive question. And then to not want me to get offended is diabolical. Do you know what diabolical means? Let me tell you. Y'all think it means funny. That's why he's funny. Diabolical is a characteristic of the devil, or so evil as to be suggestive of the devil. It's from British informal, disgracefully bad or displeasant. A singer with an absolutely diabolical voice. Diabolically, an adverb. I am not going to get diabolically drunk. Origin, late Middle English as diabolic. For English French, diabolique, or that's a little bit hard for me to say. ECCLESIASTICAL. Latin, diabolicus, from diabolicus, devil. The form diabolical dates from the early 16th century. That is the whole definition of diabolical. It does not mean funny. However, it is very diabolical that you think it means funny. This is really the example of you know what you're doing when you're doing it. You just think other people don't know. That's really what that is. This is really the example of I think people are stupid. That's what that is. That's exactly what this is. The example of. And the fact that you think that I'm stupid, I'm proving to you that I'm not. And it's making you upset because you don't know what I'm doing. That's nothing wrong. That's not against the law. You don't have to know what I'm doing. Problem is y'all talk too much. There is a song by Run DMC. It says you talk too much and you never shut up. Homegirl, you talk too much and you never shut up. When I was younger, my uncles used to tell me that they made that song for me. Oh, so funny. But I do know how to be quiet, which is why I have never said anything but to my children. They would be like, Dad, ma again, and then think it was my fault that I'm speaking up for myself. There's nothing wrong for defending yourself when you are being attacked or offended. That's why little kids are killing themselves from bullies because y'all don't want to take accountability. Y'all want to give bullies pizza and ice cream, birthday parties, titles, things they don't deserve. And then the people that speak up for themselves get all type of mistreatment because of the fact that you feel that you can control something you did not create. Only person you can control is yourself, and you can't even do that. Which is why you have a hard time understanding why I won't accept your behavior, because you accept the behavior. I don't have to accept what you accept. I don't have to. And again, as you can see, I did not make this a color thing. This is a people thing. God didn't make color. He made the rainbow. And black or white is not in it. This is unfair treatment. And since y'all think y'all can do it and get away with it and then laugh about it, is what makes me upset. It's called playing in somebody's face. So since you hid behind walls and played in my face, God really said that it is okay to publicly play in yours because it is not against the law, not one law you created. It's not even social media bullying. Because right now I'm just speaking facts. Y'all bullied me. This email I got today or yesterday was bullying. Social media bullying is taunting when y'all be telling people mean stuff and leaving mean stuff on a comment on a post, and that's social media bullying. Telling the truth is not social media bullying. It's telling the truth. That's why y'all call reality TV, and then call perception the truth, and then call reality a lie. Because you play chess, which is a boxing game on a board with all boxes, with people or pawns or kings or queens or whatever. I don't even know how to play chess. I know what some of the pieces are called. I know you got a knight, a queen, a king. One of them chess pieces is the most important. Y'all got to tell me because I really don't know. Because it's such a boxing game, I don't even understand it. My mind can't even think that small, which is why I like football. It's unfair. And God has been asking in so many different type of ways to please be fair to everybody. Black people aren't the only people that's getting unfair treatment. That's why it's not a color thing. I just mentioned the color because I don't want y'all to think I'm just sitting here talking about my race. I'm talking about the human race because there was really only one race. In Genesis, Adam and Eve was not indicated by color. It was indicated by man and woman. This is really unfair. And it makes my stomach hurt. And this is how people get ulcers and strokes, diabetes, cancer. Y'all trying to kill us as a people. Because everybody not negative. Everybody not negative. This is not an everybody thing, but this is something that everybody needs to hear. Because even in the Bible, it says when you see unfair treatment, you're supposed to speak up for yourself. It's called being a good Samaritan. There's a story called the Good Samaritan in the Bible. And I have been good Samaritans because I don't care. When right is right, it's right. And when wrong is wrong, it's wrong. Somebody has to speak up. And y'all just letting it happen and not speaking up. And people really enjoy what they do. That's the problem. We're not even complaining about working because people have to work. Jesus worked. He was a carpenter. That is a job. God works. How you think you're breathing? No, Nobody don't want to sit down and be lazy. That is a misconception that you told yourself about people, and I don't even know why, because nobody shows you that. There's not a person on this earth that shows you that people are lazy. Everybody moves around. There are some people that are a little stuck because of the mistreatment of the world. It's hurting our soul. This is why companies are sinking. This is why eggs are sometimes $7 and then six and then three and then five and then two and then four and then six and then eight. This is why. And God did not create the world for it to die. Because as you can see, since Genesis, the world has still been here. And as long as the devil was lurking, there is going to be evil. You just got to pick what side you want to be on, because one side is definitely better than the other. Because the truth is definitely better than a lie. It says in the Bible, what happens in darkness shall come into light. This is light. The light is on. Y'all put them on. You asked me to say something because when I was saying something to you, giving you the actual option to change your mind, that's when you told me that because this person was from work for the board X, Y, and Z, then I needed to start making a transition. I said I don't want to. That's not what this conversation is about. You said, well, I feel like that's the best decision. How can you make a decision for me? Well, you're not even thinking about the fact that there is nobody else to do what I did. You don't have anybody. You left new people that don't even have the knowledge of the company or the processes. So now they got to sit there and figure it out. However, I left like I always do and always have done. I left great notes. Well, all you got to do is follow what I did. You'll be all right. It's not even that hard to be honest with you. The way y'all teach it in school, y'all make it so difficult, but it's really not. It's really common sense. It really is. Debits and credits is common sense. And it is common sense to see that a credit, which is a takeout, is being done to the world as a whole because no deposits, which is a positive, is being put into the world. We are the world. Michael Jackson said it. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter life, I believe, life or light. So let's start living. He said it. Jesus said it. God said it. You said to yourself, I'm important. Them positive affirmations that y'all be telling yourself. So how can you tell yourself positive affirmations and then treat somebody bad? That means you don't believe what you're saying to yourself. Starts in here, boo boo. It starts right here. And then there's nothing wrong with having a good heart. You do not get walked over by having a good heart. Because God knows all, God sees all, God is all. God is good and bad. It's your actions that he's waiting for. And I can't sit and let it happen another day. I can't. And I'm not saying anything wrong and you know it. I'm not saying anything illegal. I'm really telling you the truth. But the fact that I'm talking about God so heavenly and so deeply, And the fact that you feel a shift in emotion in the air is what's scaring you. And the fact that I'm not scared by talking to you this way is what's scaring you. Preachers aren't scared on the pulpit. You ain't got to be on the pulpit to be a preacher. The word preacher isn't even in the Bible. They call disciples, followers, servants. And my heart hurt. It just hurt. Because y'all don't know how it feels to continuously be treated in a way that you know you do not deserve, and for people to tell you that you do. Now, there is one time that I have done something, and I admitted that I did it, but it was actually self-defense. And that was agreed upon. I'm good regardless of what I'm saying. You could Google research, you can do whatever you want to do to try to find any dirt on me. You're not going to. Because Jesus said he washes as white as snow. It's just really unfair. And we have to start saying something as a people when we see something unfair, and stop being scared of losing a job. Because the job ain't even the one that provide. Because you wasn't even qualified to get the job. And it was proven, and it is proven. And the fact that when I stated that, that's when I got that email. Wasn't some admission of guilt that I proved it. But then, now I'm going to bring in color, because this is a fact. When a person of color that has the experience that you're actually looking for, and then is willing to learn more, applies for the position, they're disqualified. My resume is my experience. College can't teach you everything, because y'all went to college. And I was teaching y'all stuff. Y'all was teaching me stuff too. But really, mainly, I really taught a lot of people stuff that y'all should have already known. How can you be the leader of a finance department and not even know accounts payable, which is the credit of the company? Okay, you know why I say it's the credit of the company? Because it keeps record of how your bills were paid, like the timely manner your bills were paid, which is why the actually invoices have net terms. So if you pay your invoices on time, that keeps the credit score of the company good. Some companies even give you a discount, like net 30, net 20, net 15, if you pay early. That keeps your credit good. During an interview, I told somebody accounts payable was like meat to a sandwich. Because it is. It's everything to the finance department. I learned that at Moet when I was staying late till like 10 o'clock at night to get in month end, which I loved, didn't complain. My kids were good. They were good. They were fine. This is when my son learned how to cook, which he enjoyed, because he wanted to be a chef anyway. So, we would stay, and it was fun. I never complained. I actually met Amorion one night during this process, during this journey. I did. Um, it's funny. I remember because I had sent a picture to my oldest son. He was like, "What are you doing? Taking pictures with Amorion, and you supposed to be on your way home?" I was like, "No, I went out to lunch with. I mean, no, we went out to dinner. my supervisor and a coworker of mine. I was like, no, I just went out to dinner with my supervisor and my coworker. But anyway, at Moet, we used to do month end, and I would do month end, all the entries, close the books, make sure everything was good. And then there was an entry that needed to be made before anything else could hit the books. I had to be made. I was the one that made sure that entry was in. They will drink champagne and stuff like that. This is when I first started my locks, and the first thing I stated was I'm not cutting my hair, because the first thing y'all want to tell people was that locks is bad. And I said people because, again, this is not a color thing. If we look around the world, this is locks is not a color thing. But anyway, people want to you want to indicate locks mean something or whatever. So that's the first thing I stated, was that I was not cutting my hair. And then once I stated I was not cutting my hair, a little bit after that, I was like terminated or whatever. And I don't even know what I was terminated for at all. I really don't. I don't even drink. And they will tell you, like, they came out with this black Hennessy Bible bottle with this nice coloring on it. And so I just wanted the bottle for itself. I don't need what's inside the bottle, because Jesus made water into wine, not to kill a brown, not to kill a beer, gin, vodka, and all that other stuff y'all drink. I don't even like wine. I don't even like alcohol, so I'm good. I just wanted the bottle because I thought the bottle was pretty. I don't know if that got around the office as if I was asking for something, and all I really wanted was just the empty contents, but nobody asked me. They just assumed. I don't really know why I was terminated from Moet. I don't. I don't. So this is why I pray as much as I do. And this is why I talk about God as much as I do, because this is a lot to tolerate as a person. And then when somebody snapped, that TV show that y'all had made, people snapping, it happens. Because mistreatment is just, it's like, it's too much to take. Y'all not, it's like, what's so funny? The whole world is struggling. And to know that, and then to treat somebody misfair, to think that you have control over their finances and how they're going to feed their children, is so diabolical. That's diabolical. This is why I have to praise God. This is why I have to pray. This is why I have to pray hallelujah. This is why I sat at the desk and sang gospel songs out loud. And this is why I listen to my gospel songs all day, every day. Because it takes a lot of Jesus to know that I'm giving you $100,000 worth of work, and you want to pay me 75, 80K. And then you're getting paid 250K, and you're not even doing 250K of work. In the Bible, it talks about dineros and how we should all get paid evenly no matter what work we do. Because we all need each other. I don't know what controllers do. I don't even want to be a controller, because I don't even like the total title, because I don't want to control anything. I like to be an analyst. I like analyzing. I solved so much for so many companies. And yes, I made some mistakes. And yes, I may have gave you an attitude that resembled kiss my ass, because you was giving me an attitude that resembled, you know more than me. I don't know what I'm doing, and na 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 na. But then to actually come out of your face and state that was because somebody is from another contracting company that works with a board team of people who probably don't even know what the hell is going on. All they know was I sent an Excel letter that said ball game. What is this? Hallelujah. Amen. Jesus. Who said what? I ain't never seen nobody write nothing like this. I never seen nobody tell us off using Jesus. Because I know who my source is. God is my provider. Tamala Man has a song and it says, God provides. I can sing it so well. Jireh, Jireh, Jireh. El Rapha. And then to say that I was yelling when I wasn't yelling, I really just said you're not even thinking. Because, and then you're going to talk about something you don't like the fact that I'm telling you you're not thinking. You don't like the fact that I'm telling you the truth because you have no lawful reason. No lawful reason. Which is why you said, oh, well, you can stay as long as you want to, but you can still start. The what? That don't even make sense. How you going to try to fire somebody and then not even have an exit plan? That's how you know it wasn't even thought about. It was impulsive because you didn't like what I said, which was the truth. You can't talk to me any type of way you want to and tell me that I have to accept the way that you're talking to me. Because if I talk to you any type of way that I want to, you're not going to like it nor understand it, which is going to make you even more mad. Which is why y'all create laws y'all don't even understand. Because this is freedom of speech. Wait, let me tell y'all what freedom of speech says. Freedom of speech is the right to express opinions and ideas without government interference or punishment. It's a fundamental right, but not absolute and can be limited in certain circumstances. In the United States, the First Amendment of the Constitution protects freedom of speech, along with freedom of religion, press assembly, and petition. This protection means the government cannot generally restrict what people say or write. However, this right is not unlimited to a certain categories of speech such as defamation, obscenity, and incitement. We're gonna look that up to see how to pronounce it. To violence are not protected. Okay, I don't even know what that word says. So let me see. It's a noun. Action provoking unlawful behavior or urging someone to behave unlawfully. I'm not doing that. I'm urging people to stop letting people treat people unfair. That's not unlawful. That is actually the law of the Bible. That's not unlawful. It's not. I'm not provoking anybody to do anything negative. I'm actually asking you to stop being negative and then want people to be positive. Be positive to get positive. It's algebra. That negative and positive situation y'all got. So much go on with it. But we learned it in school. And the only thing that is crazy is it's really like a battery. You need the negative to push the positive up. If you ever looked at a battery, look at a battery, you'll see that the positive part got a pointy part, and the negative part is flat. The negative part really doesn't have a source, but it's necessary. The positive part is where the energy comes from, which is why when you put anything, thing, in the object that takes three batteries, two of the batteries have to be positive. Only the battery in the middle is the negative. That's even more proof to show that negative is necessary, but positive is the source. It's funny because when I was younger, I used to put the tip of a battery on my tongue. The little 9 volt batteries. I don't know. I just wanted to see what the energy felt like. I didn't do it often. Maybe like months. I just wanted to see. It's not a good thing. But children do things like that because we're adventurous and we're we want to we got five senses, so we use all of them. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Hands, eyes, nose, mouth. What I miss? Hands, eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, ears. And you know what's so funny? That here and here are both spelled the same way. No, actually, I'm going to take that back. Here and here are spelled differently, but it sounds the same. So I really just wanted to come and say I'm not breaking the law. I'm not. I'm really just doing what God asked me to do and spread his word to the people because it's in the Bible. That is too much negativity going on around the world and we're all suffering and we're all going to be suffering if somebody doesn't stop. Clarissa Shields didn't finally get recognized because she sat there quietly. She said something. I'm saying something because something needs to be said. It's not right. It's unfair. And I don't want to talk anymore. Because y'all didn't even ask me nothing. And then you didn't even tell me what I did wrong. You just gonna talk something. Oh, we feel as though you're not a team player. I've been a team player for a year and 4 months. So now how all of a sudden in a month I'm not a team player. No one. Oh, do you know what was the craziest thing? And then it was said, oh well, we heard other things. I said, from who? Because I said my appointed controller would have definitely said something to me because we talked. I'm not a nag at work. Like, I'm not one that needs to talk to you about my personal life 24/7. But if we build that relationship and we have conversation, we have conversation. But he knows my character enough to know that he would have been fine with saying something to me and I would have took it and it took accountability for it because I've never made an excuse or justification for any mistake I made. I amounted for it and I said, okay, I will try not to make the mistake again. And then 9 times out of 10, I didn't make the mistake again. So then when I was like, oh, then when she was like, oh, I heard something. Well, it's not the only thing I heard. And I was like, well, what else did you hear? All of a sudden, oh, I got another call. I got another call. I got another call. Like, I'm not supposed to point out your lie. Like, do you know how many times y'all lied on me, to me, about me, for me, and then told me that I didn't know what I was talking about pertaining to me? As if I didn't know what I was doing? And then you don't even know what I was doing. I literally trained supervisors of accounts payable departments. How can you be a supervisor of a department where you don't even know the fundamental functions. That's like going to adopt a teenager. That's really the definition of the blind leading the blind, and I'm not blind. I can see. And then when somebody asks if they can have they show that they are qualified for the position by the work that they do. You tell them that you want somebody with experience. Why do we have to constantly prove ourselves to people that haven't even proven them? They don't even. Jesus, it's just unfair. It's just not right. Your work speaks for yourself. My work has always spoken for me, which is why I have always stayed at the places where I stayed for a long period of time. And then you want to ask for the reasons for the gaps on my resume or why I didn't stay somewhere this longer. That I never attempted to have this many jobs. I just know how to adjust. I know how to adjust like a chameleon, a iguana. I know how to adjust. But that doesn't mean it's fair. I have children, three of them. Actually, three, four. I have three that I gave birth to and three that I did not give birth to. They're still my children. That's six children I have to take care of. And because I don't want to accept how you talk to me, because I don't deserve it, because there are recordings of me doing trainings indicating that I don't even come off rude. It's unfair. I have children. And God said that I can say, because it is in the Bible, that He's omnipresent, omnipotent, sees and knows all, knows what's going to come out of your mouth before you even say it, which is why you shouldn't be afraid to say anything, because God knows what you're going to say before you even say it, which is why He says power of life of death, which is why He say life of death is in the power of your tongue, which is why He say even though you're not speaking it, it still can kill you if it's in your mind. So this is to your answer. This is your answer as to why. Because God said I can. Because y'all really owe me some money. I indicated how. How do you scam somebody for wanting to get a job? Why do you even want to do that? People want to work. That's the funny part. Y'all scamming people like people don't want to work and then want to put the stuff in Bitcoin. Bitcoin leaves a trail as well. Everything leaves a transaction number. That's the law. So everything can be traced. Everything. Everything you do, everything I do, everything we do, it can be traced. Which is why I don't try to be perfect. I just try to be as godly as possible. I really do. I just try to do what God says, which is love Him more than anything in His word. And we all know I do that. God knows I do that. He knows I do that. And then He also knows I love thy neighbor as I love thyself. Y'all know I love myself because of how I treated each and every one of you. And the simple fact that I let you play with me, and I don't even play with myself. I don't even play with myself about my own feelings. So why would I allow somebody else to play with me about my feelings? Because when I go to bed at night, I'm only going to bed with me. Even if you're laying next to your husband, when you go to bed, you're only going to bed with you. And you have to deal with words. Y'all made that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. How is that possible when God said the power of life and death is in your tongue? That's a negative and a positive. It's not right. It's not right, Jesus. It's not right. And I'm not going to work for nobody else. God said I could say it, so I could say it. Y'all really owe me some money. God said I don't have to. I want to be a content creator because I want to talk about things in the world that need to be talked about. And the main thing is words. But I don't want to do it aggressively. I don't want to come off like the way y'all think I'm coming off, aggressive. No, I'm just coming off giving facts. But when people get fed up, it's called an attitude. I have the right to have an attitude because you created the attitude. You can't tell me how to respond. Again, that is too much action for one person to have. That is too much power for one person to have. That is. And the simple fact that you said it, and then demonstrate the power that you said one person can't have. And then want somebody to notice that you're not trying to control both situations. You can't play quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, corner, running back, defensive line, offensive line. You can't play all those positions. Football requires everybody to play one position at a time. And then the fact that y'all think multitasking is healthy is crazy because scientifically it's not. Your brain can't do but so much at one time. God didn't even multitask. He did one thing at a time. It's really unfair. And I can't take it anymore. So I don't know how we're going to rectify this problem that you created. At this point, the world can see you created this problem. Corporate America created this problem since it's not part of the United States. Since y'all have your own America. And it's crazy because if it's that, oh, this is how corporate America is. I don't understand. Because I thought it was only one America. How y'all make a separate America? And I thank you. And I thank you. Fighting for the Lord. I'm on the battlefield fighting for the Lord. I'm on the battlefield fighting.